Alrighty there. This is a part 2 of my best Scooby Doo spin-off movies video. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend you check that out. But if you're still here, this is going to be fantastic. I'm sorry, I'll leave now. So after I made my Ghoul School video, I mentioned that the Ghoul Girls hadn't been seen, as far as I know, for 30 years. 30 years! After the Ghoul School movie, which was released on October the 16th of 1988, we heard nothing from them again. No spin-off show with the Ghoul Girls and the Cadets, or a spin-off movie with just them. I mean, that's the case with Scooby Doo. I mean, they've met Batman numerous times and they never bring it up or ever mention it again. It's just, he pops up and they don't acknowledge like the previous iterations. It's just its own thing. But I'm talking about the characters made in the Scoobyverse. The Scooby Universe? Scoobyverse? Yeah, Scoobyverse sounds better. Like the Hex Girls. They've made numerous appearances in different iterations of Scooby Doo. But I can see future potential with them. You could have the girls get into some wacky, ghouly shenanigans. Kinda something like the Addams Family. Like, everything creepy is normal to them and everything that's meant to be normal is just weird to them, that kind of thing. You could even have the cadets popping up from time to time, whether it be for another sports game or just for whatever. I mean, yeah, it could be a bit formulaic, but it could have ran for a good season or two back in the day. Or even a sequel, something else spooky trying to attack the Grimwood Manor or the girls, or even something from real life, like, Society! Dun dun dun! I'm sorry, that joke was too easy. But then, it happened. On October the 1st of 2018, or October 21st on TV, they made a return on the Halloween special of OKKO Let's Be Heroes called Monster Party. No doubt it being released intentionally at the same month as Ghoul School. And, what else is on October again?
It's Halloween, you idiot!
Oh yeah, that too! Now, I remember seeing some images back in the day on Twitter about who'd be making an appearance. I was in disbelief. I was shocked. I was thinking to myself, that's the Ghoul Girls from Ghoul School. They'd not been seen for 30 years since the movie. I had to give it a watch. I should mention outside this episode, I haven't seen much of OKKO. I know, I'm sure it's great. I like the intro, it's super catchy. I've seen some clips of the show, it looks a lot of fun, some interesting characters. I'm just procrastinating, I'm lazy, I'll admit it, I'm sometimes lazy. I'll be sure to get around to it when I can. By the way, this script was made months ago before everything with Discovery happened, so yeah, that line has aged like milk. But don't worry, I can find it. I only watched this episode because, one, it had the Ghoul Girls in it, and two, I had a feeling I wouldn't need to catch up with the show or the story so far, and it would just be its own little thing, so I thought it was safe. But if I miss any references they make in the show about the story itself, that'll be lost on me. But hopefully I get most of the ones from the current topic at hand, the Ghoul Girls. Basically, Enid's old Ghoul School pals from Grimwood arrive for a little get-together, but she's afraid her friends won't like her for who she really is, a ninja. But when she was at Grimwood, she was a witch and never told them about her true self.
How could she? She's not my witch!
So she tries to be the version of herself that they know her for. But after some wacky shenanigans with her spells, she then reveals to the girls her true self, ending on a rap song. Very nice. And that's about it, really. The majority of the episode is just the Ghoul Girls and Enid catching up and showing off their powers and seeing how much they've grown over the years. Now, obviously the Ghoul Girls were redesigned to match the OKKO style, which is fine, and they all look good, honestly. The biggest change I could see is from Elsa, her attire. She went from wearing a villager's outfit with a dark green top and short... Wait, is that a dress? I thought she was wearing matching shorts. Huh. Just kinda blew my own mind there. Well, her dress is more simplified with a lighter green and a purple sash around her waist, and it looks alright. Everyone else's designs translates very well into the OKKO style. My favourites are Sibylla and Phantasma. What? I like vampires and ghosts, what do you want from me? So with them bringing back the Ghoul Girls, I wondered who'd be voicing them. So on my first viewing, I noticed that Winnie and Tanis had different voice actresses, which is understandable. Marilyn Schrieffer, who voiced Winnie from Ghoul School, unfortunately passed away on January the 7th of 1988 due to some complications with liver cancer, which is such a shame at the age of 42. Patty Maloney, who voiced Tanis in Ghoul School, from what I can gather, she retired at some time, but I can't seem to find when. The voices of Winnie and Tanis were played by Natalie Palamit. Oh, come on, I am... Trust me to try and read something out. My worst enemy, reading. Natalie Palamits? I butchered that immensely. She voiced Buttercup in the Powerpuff Girls 2016 reboot. And Kirsten Lee, who voices Bubblecup. Bubblecup? Who the f*** is Bubblecup? Yes, the forgotten Powerpuff Girl, Bubblecup. And Kirsten Lee, who voices Bubbles in the reboot as well. And you know what? From the previous work, their voices match really well. Natalie's tomboyish tone of voice with the rasp works very well for Winnie, and Kirsten's more lighter pitch of voice sounds very well for Tannis. They fit rather well into the group.
I'm the werewolf! She's the mummy. Duh. Yeah, duh!
As for the rest, I assumed on my first watch that the whole cast was replaced with new VAs, but upon looking it up, it turns out the original VAs for Sibella, Elsa, and Phantasma all reprised their roles for this special. And that makes sense. And of course they were... fantastic. You have Pat Music, I can never pronounce that last name, back as Elsa Frankenteen. She still got the voice down. It's just a little bit deeper, but again, it's been 30 years. Your voice will change over time, but it's not that noticeable. Susan Blue as Sibella, she sounds... fantastic. I'm sorry. But seriously, she too sounds great. Hearing her say,
how fantastic!
It brought a smile on my face and it warmed my heart so much. And we have Russie Taylor as Phantasma. Now Russie Taylor, for me, I've known her work for The Simpsons with various characters like Martin Prince, Sherry and Terry, and also voicing Minnie Mouse as far as back to his 1986. Hearing her again was such a delight, and she's having a lot of fun. For these three, of course, it's been 30 years since they played the characters. It was great hearing them again as their characters after for so long. And they did a great job. They were all fantastic. I'm not gonna stop using that pun. I appreciated all the callbacks to Ghoul School. Like the girls mentioning Shaggy and Scooby.
Hey, do you guys ever wonder what happened to that weird guy with the Great Dane? Oh, yeah!
Though my one nitpick, Winnie would never forget Shaggy's name. That guy helped you get a trophy, your first trophy. How dare you forget that man's name, man? Like, not cool, man. And also, Elsa copying Shaggy's speech and mannerisms was a nice little touch. The ending dance scene is very reminiscent of the ending of Ghoul School with Scrappy's rap song and the Ghoul Girls dancing with the Callaway Cadets. Also, in the ending credits, you can actually see the characters' sheets from Ghoul School. That's a nice little touch. Also, this shot of the girls drawn like Ed and Eddie had me giggling. It caught me off guard. I was so confused, but I was laughing. Like, I don't know why it's there, but I like it. I don't know why to say that. It's funny. Now, I should also point out the allegory in the episode. With Enid hiding her ninjutsu from the girls, it's a very subtle way of mimicking the situation of someone who may come out to their friends or family, whether it be for their sexual orientation or their gender identity. Now, I myself have not experienced this type of exploration, but I did enjoy the way that the allegory smoothly woven into the story. So essentially, I enjoyed this episode. I'll admit, I solely enjoyed it for the fact that they brought the girls back from, what, again, I'll say this again, 30 years. 30 years of nothing after the Ghoul School movie. Just bam, boom, out of the blue, spooky girls here for you. Now, I know OKKO has made some callbacks and other cameos from various franchises like Captain Planet, Sonic the Hedgehog, the Ghoul Girls, Ben 10, Raven and Garnet in one crossover episode, which are fine, they're all great, but Monster Party is my favourite out of the crossovers. My second one being Ben 10, Raven and Garnet crossing over, that was nice. This tickles my nostalgia so much. Watching this episode was like seeing a couple of old friends, a sweet, fun little piece of childhood coming back. Obviously, if people haven't seen Ghoul School, the references will be missed on them, but for folk who've seen the true classics, like myself, they'll appreciate the effort of bringing back a classic gem such as the Ghoul Girls. Now, I would say if you can, go check it out, but with everything that's happening with certain people and certain companies, try to find it somewhere and give it a watch for yourself, and hopefully you can enjoy it. Again, I wrote this months ago in advance. This has been Drew, those are my views, and I bid you adieu, and happy Halloween. Take care.